Hello, hey, this is Bill. This video will show you how to assemble the starting grid. We have two different starting grids right now, the 10 marble starting grid and the 20 marble. We're going to assemble the 10 marble grid, but the 20 assembles pretty much exactly the same way. It's just twice as long. All right, let's get started. It will come in a bag like this. We'll just open it up and take out all the parts. And let's see what we have in here. There'll be several things in the package. There's going to be a rubber band and these little small metal pieces. Let's see if I can get this up here close so you can see that. And here are the hinges. We'll move those over here. The rails, the grid for the marbles, and then the track. And the track is pretty much the same size as a regular straight track, 184 millimeters long, and but it has some special cuts and things in it like that. So to get started, it's very simple. We'll just start with putting the rails in, and then just go to your punch out card, and you'll see the little tabs in here that will help you that hold these in. Just pop those. Listen to this. There we go. And just pop them out like that, and then we don't need that the punch out card anymore. All right, so these are keyed, so they go in one way. So let me just line those up so you can see them. So each of these little feet will go into the holes like you see, and so this is keyed to stay on this side. And so you just put it in like that. Let's go ahead and get some glue on these. Like that. Like that. Just cleaning up the glue on the inside of the rail, just so it's not sticking out there. And I'm going to put some spray on here just to get it to set quickly. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to punch this out real quick. And this is the little lever, and this is just a safety pin when you're putting the marbles in the track, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. All right, and then these are all the pieces that we need to assemble the hinges. And you'll see each one of these has a little hole in the top corner. So let's go ahead and punch those out. Okay, and then these are the actual hinges here, these bigger ones. All right, and I'm going to keep this here, and these three little pieces here I'm going to keep in there so I don't lose them. And then all we have to do is just find these little double square holes, and we're going to install this that kind of looks like an E or an F, and we're going to install them so the top has the little hole, and we'll just stick them in just like that and glue them. Okay, so in fact I can probably just put the glue right on here. It'll work just fine, just like that. And then we'll put these in. There's one. 2. Get them in there nice and tight. And we'll do the next sections the same way. And I'm gonna just make sure they're in there tight. All right, like that. Like that. The last one. Okay, and then these are going to fit into the slot, and looks like I'm going to need to punch out this little hole right here. Oh. And the knife is just like this, so I can punch those out, those little tiny holes. Make sure all of them are out. Okay, very good. And then these are going to go in here like that, and we're going to use these little pins to do that. So let's go ahead and pull out one of the pins, and we'll put this in here. But you know what? Before I do that, I want to glue them in place on top here. So let's go ahead and glue these in place. Okay? So I'll put some glue up here. And install the first one. Do the next one. And do the same. And last one. And again, I really like this spray. Get it to dry just a little bit quicker. And then these are going to go in here and work as a hinge. All right, now the next part. This is probably the most challenging part of this build. It is installing the lever that helps actuate, the start. There's these little round pieces in here. Let's get them out of the deal. And we probably need to clean those off just a little bit so there's not residue on there, or the little tabs. Okay, so I'm just cleaning those off so that it's nice and round. And then what we're going to do to show you is we're going to glue this onto the side over here, and then we're going to place this over top of it like this. Then we're going to put a little tiny piece of glue, a little glue on that piece there, and then we're going to cover it like this. Okay, and we don't want that glue to spread and get on this because it needs to be able to move. So let's see if we can make this work without much problem. Let's go ahead and put on a little tiny bit of glue right there. And I'll just drop that on. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I just glued that little piece on that line. There was a circle etched in there, and I just glued it on there like that. And that circle is engraved there just so you know where to put it so that it all lines up. And then we're going to want to install this, and we want the little lever piece, the little lever part to be, that way, so that when we pull down on the lever, it releases the gate. All right, so now let's go ahead and do this again. I'm going to put a little dot of glue right there. And I'm probably going to put some spray on here, and then I'm just going to drop that right on top. Let's see if I can show you this. This is going to drop right on top, just like that. And then we're just going to want to make sure that that doesn't glue. Like that. So, like I said, this is the trickiest part. So you just need to be careful. Just do a little tiny bit of glue. Give it a chance to you know, dry, and then, you know, make sure that this is all moving. But that's how you create that little lever. All right. Cool. All right. Now let's put the hinges on. And again, so we've created those little hinges, we've put these on, we're going to just stick them in here, and we're going to put the little hinges in. I'm going to find the little hole there, of course. There we go. So now we'll just push that through through the hinges like that. And then on the far side there is a stop. So you can push it through till it hits the stop. And then there we go. And then of course these pieces that I mentioned earlier, this is going to be the stop for this side. We'll put those on once we're done. All right, I'm going to take a second piece out. I put these in a little piece of tape just so that they were easy to find inside the bag. Let's put one in right here. There we go, just like that. And this last one. All right, so now I've placed all three of those, 1, 2, 3, in the little hinges. They've gone all the way to the stop. I don't know if I can show that to you, but there's a little piece right there is just in the stop. And now I'm going to take these guys, I'll punch these out. They're kind of small, so you might need to use, you know, like a little tiny screwdriver or an X-Acto blade to punch these out. There we go. And if you want to clean those up a little bit, just take that tab off of there. Just pretty much scraping it. You don't have to cut it or anything. All right, and then we just put a little dab of glue. And I'm just going to spray these because it dries a lot faster. And now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this piece right on top, like that. You probably want to put it on straight, unlike me. There we go, there's that one. And we just do it 3 times. Let's get some glue on here. And I'm going to put this down here so I can see what I'm doing. There's 2. And 3. And again, guys, the only reason we're putting these on is so that those pins don't back themselves out. So here, let's see if I can get this close up for you. But we put this piece on, it prevents that pin from coming out, and this one from coming out that direction. So now we have a hinge like that, and it will open and close very easily. All right, and then with that, we can put our rubber band on. There's many different ways of doing this, but there's a little cutout right here that you can put the rubber band on. You just slip it in the hole. I usually pull it a little bit to get it thinner. Pull it in so that it sits in like that. You see that? The reason we're doing that is because when this pops, we didn't want it to come off, and so there's this little design helps it stay in place. So let me do this. I'm going to go to the second one and do kind of the same thing. And really that's all you have to do for this. You don't need to go to the third one. This is just these two right here, and then put it in that little slot. I pull it tight and pull it in. There we go. And same with this one. There we go, just like that. And now we have a working gate. And with our hinge, or with our little clamp, we just do that. And then when we want to start the race, you just pull down on the on this, and there's your start gate. Now this piece here, a lot of people have been asking me what this piece is for. All this really does is you can jam it in here like this so that it's stuck in there, and then that just prevents, when you're putting marbles in here, it prevents the lever from opening on itself, or opening by itself. All right, and then when you're ready, you just take that out and you flip the lever and your marbles are racing. All right, and they've got numbers 1 through 10, and they're staggered so that they start in an order. So those you guys like to start with a grid, this works out perfectly. All right, well, thank you much. That's the starting grid.